to the final topic in fiber optics, Mach Zender interferometer. So Mach Zender is a pressure sensor. So before we look at the Mach Zender interferometer, we'll look at this component called a coupler, which is used in your MZI. So what happens is, a coupler is basically an instrument which has two input arms and two output arms. So when you get an input of intensity I through one of the arms, what is an input? It is a wave. It can be a light wave, sound wave, anything. But obviously, since we are dealing with fiber optics, we will restrict ourselves to light waves. So through the arm A, I am giving a light wave of intensity I as the input. What this instrument does is, it splits it into I by 2, two parts of intensity I by 2 each, one which travels through C and the other travels through D. Now what is the thing we need to understand here is this, the one that came from A and went through C, it travelled along the same path, so it is in the same phase as the input. The other one, it crossed and came to the other side, so it is 90 degrees out of phase. So this is how a basic coupler works. This is the working of a coupler. So I'll repeat how a coupler works. It is just an instrument which has two input arms and two output arms. So what is this input it takes? It is a wave. It can be any wave. It can be a light wave, sound wave, any sort of wave. But because we are dealing with fiber optics, we will restrict ourselves to light waves. So a coupler takes a light wave as input through either one or both of the input arms, and it gives light waves as outputs through both of the output arms. So in this case, let's assume I am sending one wave of intensity I through the arm A. The coupler will split it into two waves of intensity I by 2 each. So I is getting split into I by 2, and one of them will travel through C, the other will travel through D. So what is the key point to be noted here is, one wave will be in the same phase as the input. So here A, C it's along the same plane. It was through this path, and again it's traveling through the upper path, so to speak. So it's along the same plane, it will have the same phase. And the other wave of I by 2, again C and D are also, we are getting waves passing through them, right? So this wave coming from A, it crosses over to the opposite direction and comes to D, I by 2 intensity. So this one will be 90 degree out of phase. So basically what your coupler does is, whatever input it gets, it splits it into two parts. One part which is the same phase as the input, and the other part which is 90 degree out of phase. So that is the basic of a coupler.